Hello friends, today we are going to learn about the self-perception theory of understanding the self subject, and first of all we have to understand the meaning of the term self and perception. Self means the union of elements such as body, emotions, thoughts and sensations that constitute the individuality and identity of a person, right? And next is the perception. Perception is the way in which something is regarded, understood, or interpreted. It means it's our ability to sense ourselves and any other person. So, what does the self perception means? Self perception means the idea that you have about the kind of person you are. The self perception theory was proposed by Daniel Bem, and here is a little bit information about the Daryl Bem. He was born in June 1938 and he studied physics at Reed College, and he studied social psychology at the University of Michigan, and he received his PhD in 1964, and he taught at Stanford, Harvard and Cornell, and he served as consulting editor for psychology including Journal of Personality and Psychological Review. Now I'm going to give the detailed explanation of this theory. According to this theory, attitude follows behavior. So the attitude of a person is developed on the basis of his behavior. The theory explains that people develop their attitude when there is no previous attitude. There are two views, traditional and Bem's view. According to the traditional view, behavior follows attitude. So it means attitude comes first and then behavior. But according to Bem's view, attitude follows behavior. So here are the two examples. One is for the traditional view. Suppose the attitude of the person is, I don't like liberal politicians. So on the basis of it, the person will develop a behavior that I vote only for the conservatives. So here the behavior is following attitude. Clear? And next is the Bem's view. According to Bem's view, attitude follows behavior. The behavior of the person is, I guess I don't like liberal politicians. So on the basis of this behavior, the person will develop attitude that now I think about it, I vote only for the conservatives. Next is the extrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Our behavior is motivated by either intrinsic or extrinsic factors for reaching implications. Intrinsic motivation is a type of motivation that comes from our inside, and extrinsic motivation is because of any external reward or pressure. Intrinsic motivation is a desire to engage in an activity because we enjoy it or find it interesting, and extrinsic motivation is a desire to engage in an activity because of any reward or pressure. Here are two examples for the concept of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Suppose the behavior of a boy is, a 9-year-old Himal plays cricket with the neighborhood kids all the day. The environmental cause is he receives no external reward for doing this. So here the cause is he plays cricket just for fun. So here the cause is the personal cause. He is receiving no external reward for doing this. So he is just playing for fun. So the reason is the personal cause. And this is the example of the intrinsic motivation. And next is the behavior is, 25-year-old Himal is playing cricket in major cricket leagues. Why he is playing in major cricket leagues? Because he is receiving 10 lakh per year to play cricket. So the cause is he is playing for money, not for fun. So here the cause is the environment cause, and this is an example of the extrinsic motivation. And next is the over justification effect. It means minimal rewards lead to high interest in task, and the high external rewards lead to low interest in it. It means one have to put greater efforts in the task in which we are receiving the minimal rewards. Otherwise, if the rewards are high, definitely the less efforts will be required to put the persons in that particular activity. Next is the self-perception theory argues that people examine two things while making decisions. So which two things people examine while making decisions? First is behavior and second is the environmental forces that are working on the individual. So the formula is observed behavior plus environmental forces. So on the basis of behavior and environmental forces, the attitude of a person is developed. So here again examples are given. First case is behavior of any person is I told a guy that I liked the experiment, and the environment is I got $20 for it, and the attitude is I hate experiment as I was paid $20 only, right? So in this case $20 money is a strong explanation of the behavior, right? So here environment cause is lack of personal desire to perform the behavior. Why lack of personal desire? Because it seems from this case that the person is saying that he hate the experiment. I hate experiment because I received only $20. So here he is not interested in doing the experiment, but he is doing the experiment just for money. Clear? So he develops this attitude that I hate experiment as I was paid $20 only. So here also you can say that here it is an example of extrinsic motivation. And next is the case number 2. I told a guy that I liked the experiment. Environment is I got $1 for it, and cause is experiment was okay. He developed the attitude that experiment was okay. Here is little explanation for this behavior. Why? Because the cause was personal. The person was doing experiment not for money. He was doing because of his interest, and he said that experiment was okay. And next is a experiment was conducted by James Larritt. He conducted 2 experiments on how changes in facial expression can bring changes in emotion. So he asked the participants to smile without considering their expressions, and he asked some of the participants to shout. So they finally reported that people were feeling more angry when shouting and people were feeling more happier when smiling. And from this theory it was interpreted that facial expressions can act as a cause of emotional state. For example, the people who were asked to smile, they become happy. So here the behavior is smile, and it influences the attitude because the persons become happy. So from this experiment it was also interpreted that attitude follows behavior. So you can make yourself happy while smiling. Next are the applications of this theory. First is the psychological treatment. The people attribute their inner feelings from their external behaviors. So in various therapies, patients are treated by guiding them to change their behaviors, and later on their problems are treated. So various therapies such as used in maladjusted behaviors. Suppose the teenagers have sometimes developed different kind of bad attitudes, so they can be engaged in various social activities. So their psychology can be treated very well by doing so. And another kind of therapies are also used for treating the heterosocial anxiety. And next is the marketing. In case of marketing, first the shopkeepers can change the attitude of the customers towards themselves. The initial commitment on the small request will change one's self-image. People observe first the behavior of the shopkeeper, and or we can say the person who is doing marketing, and then prefer the products. So definitely if the behavior is good, the customers will develop good attitude towards them and they will purchase their products. And next is the medicine. It is based on the placebo effect. So in the hospitals, and we can say that to the patients, instead of giving the medicine pills, by giving them only sugar pills, it can be realized that they have that they are taking the medicine of diabetes, and it can be assured that the patient that he will be all right after having medicine. And this brings actual improvement in medical conditions, because the patient has developed that kind of attitude that he will be well soon. And next is a conclusion. This theory suggests that people develop attitude and opinions while observing on behavior, right? And this theory also explains that the role of internal thoughts and emotions in the formation of attitude. I think that it is clear that attitude follows behavior, because we develop our attitude based on our behavior and also based on our environmental factors. And one more example is here. Suppose you are saying that you are a fan of the classical music. So why did you develop this attitude? Because the reason might be that you are listening this music for the long time during the day and or the night, and also you are feeling good after listening during listening this music. So your this behavior lead to the development of your attitude that you are fan of classical music. I think that this theory is clear to you. Thank you.